sure you're ready for this?" Tyler asked, hand still on my shoulder as we stood in the parking garage. "No," I said, "but I have to know." The elevator dinged. My chest tightened. "His car's here," Tyler said. "You sure you don't want me to go up with you?" I shook my head. "If she's not doing anything wrong, then it's just a visit." He gave me a look. "You don't actually believe that." I didn't answer. I walked down the hallway slowly, counting the steps. My boss, Ryan, had a condo on the top floor. Only executives had access. Emily had said she was helping him with a private project. I believed her, until last night, until I saw her name light up on his phone while he was in a meeting. The door was already cracked open. Laughter leaked out. I pushed it open. "Babe, I thought you locked." Emily froze. She was wearing his shirt. Ryan looked up from the couch, unbothered. "Well, this is awkward." My whole body locked. "What the hell is this?" I asked. Emily stepped back. "It's not what it looks like." "Really?" I snapped. "Because it looks exactly like what it is." Ryan stood and stretched. "Let's not be dramatic." "You knew we were together," I said. "I also knew she wasn't happy," he replied, smug. Emily crossed her arms. "Don't put this all on me. We were falling apart for months." "You never said that." "Because I didn't want to." "Hurt your feelings," she said. "Sleeping with my boss behind my back was better?" Ryan chuckled. "Technically, she's been helping with my affairs." "Shut up," I growled. Emily stepped between us. "Don't do this." "You made me believe we were okay," I said. "I defended you. I trusted you." She rolled her eyes. "God, you're so sensitive." "Sensitive?" I laughed bitterly. "You wrecked my life and call me sensitive?" "I didn't wreck anything. You were already broken when I met you." Ryan grinned. "She's got a point." I clenched my fists. "You think this is funny?" Emily shrugged. "Honestly? A little. You were a placeholder. I just didn't expect you to stick around this long." My mouth went dry. "So I was a phase?" "Exactly." I looked at Ryan. "You're pathetic," he smirked. "And you're unemployed." "What?" Emily smiled cruelly. "Yeah, about that. HR's getting your file this week." "You're firing me?" "No," Ryan said. "You're quitting due to mental health concerns." "I never said that." "You will," Emily said, "after the stuff I've told them." "What? Stuff?" "That you've been unstable, jealous, controlling." "That's a lie." She stepped closer, voice low. "It's my word against yours. And guess who they'll believe?" I backed away, numb. "Why are you doing this?" "Because I can," she said. "And you made it too easy." I left without another word. "Holy shit," Tyler muttered when I told him. "She actually said that?" "She was proud of it," I said, staring blankly at my cold coffee. "She's psycho. She said I was a phase." Tyler leaned forward. "Bro, she used you." I nodded. "You okay?" I wanted to say yes, but the lie felt heavier now. "No." He was silent for a while. "You're not going back there, right?" "I don't think I can go anywhere." "You're still fired?" "Yeah." "Got the email this morning. HR said I was creating a hostile environment." "That's bullshit. They said they had statements, screenshots. Fabricated?" "Probably." "Doesn't matter now." Tyler sighed. "So what now?" "I got 30 days to vacate the apartment. It was through the company lease." He stared at me. "You're kidding." "Nope. Everything's gone." "What about your parents?" I laughed quietly. "You know the answer to that." He looked away. "Stay with me." "I can't." "Shut up. You're crashing at mine." I didn't argue. Nights got longer after that. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. I'd stare at the ceiling and hear her voice. See her smile. Tyler did his best. "You need to eat something," he said one night. "I'm fine." "You're not. You look like a ghost." "I feel like one." He handed me a sandwich. "You've got to fight back." "What's the point?" She destroyed your life. That's the point. I looked at him. I don't even know who I am anymore. You're the guy who didn't hit her when you had every reason to. I blinked. You think I wanted to? I think you had restraint most people wouldn't. I looked down. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. Then break her story. Find proof. Show people who she really is. She's already ahead. She controls the narrative. Then take it back. I shook my head. No one would believe me. I believe you. He said it so simply, like it was obvious. Thanks, I whispered. I'm not letting you disappear, man. I already have. Tyler grabbed my arm. Then let's start bringing you back. Everything I had was gone. Job, apartment, name. But in the silence, something else started growing. Not hope, not yet, just fire. Hey, Tyler knocked on the car window, frowning. You're seriously sleeping in here? I opened my eyes slowly. Guess so. You could have come back to the apartment. I couldn't keep freeloading. It's not freeloading, it's surviving. I sat up. I don't want to be a burden. You're not. You're my best friend. Stop acting like you're disposable. I rubbed my face. Sometimes I feel like I already was. Damn it, man. Don't talk like that. I mean, look at me. He glanced at the trash bag of clothes in the back seat. Yeah, I am, I chuckled. Don't sugarcoat it. I'm not. I'm saying I see you. Still standing. Barely, maybe, but still here. I didn't answer. He sighed. You eat today? Half. A granola bar. Man, it's fine. I wasn't hungry. That's not fine. I looked away. You see her Instagram? No. Why? She's in Bali. With him. Tyler swore under his breath. Already? She was smiling in the photos, champagne in hand, beach sunset behind her. Meanwhile, I was sleeping in a Honda. She's living like none of it ever happened, I said. She will. That's what people like her do. And I'm here fading. You're not fading. Then what am I? He hesitated. You're rebuilding. It doesn't feel like it. It won't. Not yet. I stared at the steering wheel. I thought about ending it. Tyler froze. What? I nodded. A few nights ago. Just stop existing. He sat down on the curb beside the car. What stopped you? I don't know. Maybe spite. Spite's underrated. I looked at him. Do you think anyone would care if I disappeared? I would. I'd care every damn day. Silence. You know what I did after that night? I asked. He shook his head. I opened my laptop, went through every email she sent me, every message, every receipt. Why? Because if I'm going down, I'm taking her lies with me. He looked at me carefully. You're serious. I started a folder, called it Truth. Every little thing, screenshots, voice memos, bank transfers, dates, everything. Dude, I realized something. She wasn't careful. He sat up straighter. You found stuff? Oh yeah, stuff that doesn't add up. Her saying she was out with friends, but her location history said otherwise. Expense reports from Ryan's card, tied to her Uber receipts. You kept all this? I backed it up on 3 drives. He smiled slowly. Now you're thinking. If no one believes me, I'll make them see. Later that week, I got a message from someone I hadn't heard from in months. Jenna, can we talk? I think I made a mistake. I stared at the screen. Tyler looked over my shoulder. Who's Jenna? Worked with me, sat 2 rows behind. We were cool before it all blew up. She believed the rumors? Didn't say a word, just stopped making eye contact. You gonna reply? I did. We met at a small coffee shop. I was wearing the only clean hoodie I had. Jenna sat down, eyes filled with guilt. I'm sorry, she said before I could speak. For what? For not standing up for you. I nodded. You didn't have to. No one did. I believed her, she admitted. She said you were aggressive, that you were obsessed. I didn't want to get involved. Most didn't. But then I saw her stories last week. The beach? No. A message she posted. Something about winning at all costs. It felt off. Cold. I stayed silent. I remembered something, she said. Before you got fired, she asked me how HR handles anonymous tips. I blinked. When? Week before you were let go. Did you tell her? She hesitated. Yeah. I thought it was harmless. I leaned back. It wasn't. I didn't know she'd use it against you. I nodded. Thanks for telling me. She looked nervous. I still have access to the internal systems. What does that mean? It means if you want names, people who submitted reports, timestamps, access logs, I can get them. My eyes widened. You'd do that? She nodded. It's the least I can do. Why now? Because I saw your name pop up again. I frowned. What do you mean? She's pushing another complaint. Says you're stalking her. I haven't even contacted her. I know. But she's building something. Again, my jaw clenched. She won't stop until I'm ruined. Then don't let her. I looked Jenna in the eye. I'm not going to. She reached into her bag and slid over a small flash drive. What's this? Start with that. Tyler was waiting outside when I came out. Well? He asked. I held up the drive. He grinned. Let's burn the castle down. I stood there, stiff in a black suit that didn't quite fit anymore, watching the rain drip off the edge of the tent. They lowered her coffin into the ground, and people around me wept like she was some kind of saint. Are you okay? Liam whispered beside me, voice shaking. His eyes were red. You don't have to stay if it's too hard. I nodded. I'm fine. Lie. He looked at me like he wanted to believe it. She loved you, you know. I said nothing. Mrs. Carter approached, from behind, her face tight. You've got some nerve showing up here. I was invited, I replied quietly. By who? Her voice sharpened. Not me. After everything you did to her, I should have had security escort you out. Liam stepped forward. Mom, don't start. No, let her talk, I said. I'd love to hear what she thinks I did. Mrs. Carter's mouth curled. You broke her heart. You left her when she needed you most. She cried for weeks. And now you come here to pretend you cared? She told you I left her? I laughed, dry and bitter. Of course she did. Don't, Liam warned me, glancing around. Not here. I took a deep breath. Right, not here. A couple passed by. The woman nodded politely. You were her first love, weren't you? I forced a smile. Something like that. She smiled back, eyes glassy. She talked about you a lot. Said you were complicated, but that you once made her happy. That word again. Once. I stepped away from the group, toward the edge of the cemetery. The grave looked so small now. So final. She ever tell you why we broke up? I asked Liam, voice low. He shook his head. She said it just didn't work out. Didn't work out? I laughed again. That's one way to put it. What really happened? He asked. I looked him in the eye. You sure you want to know? He hesitated. Yes. She cheated, I said. With my boss. Then she made sure I got fired. And when I confronted her, she smiled. Said I was just practice for someone. Better. Liam's face turned pale. No, that can't be. It is. I don't believe it. She wouldn't. She did, I said. And then she spread rumors. Said I hit her. Said I stalked her. I lost everything. Why didn't you say anything? He whispered. No one would have listened. I looked at the people surrounding the grave. Look at them. They think she walked on water. Liam ran a hand through his hair. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I believe you. She told me she wanted to make things right with you. I blinked. When? Few weeks ago. She said she regretted some choices, wanted to talk. She never called. She was scared. I looked back at the coffin. Now she's dead, and everyone here's mourning someone who never really existed. That's not fair. No, it's not, I said. Nothing about this has ever been fair. Tyler showed up late, soaked from the rain. You holding up? Define holding up, I said. He shoved his hands in his pockets. Did anyone punch you yet? Only with words. You shouldn't be here. I had to see it. Had to know she was really gone. Tyler exhaled. Still feel like she's winning? No, she lost. She just didn't live long enough to see it. I turned back toward the grave one last time. The priest said something soft about forgiveness, about love, about memory, all lies. She ever say sorry? Tyler asked. No. Would it have mattered? I paused. Yeah, it would have. He nodded slowly. Well, maybe this is her way of saying it. Through death. Through silence. I stared down at the coffin. Wet earth, clinging to the corners. I didn't cry. I couldn't. I had cried enough for both of us already. I loved her, I said. I know, Tyler whispered. She left me bleeding, then blamed me for the mess. I know. People started walking away one by one. Only a few lingered. I don't hate her, I said, surprising myself. Tyler looked at me. I should, but I don't. So what do you feel? I closed my eyes. Nothing. And for the first time in months, that felt like peace. I still remember the first time I saw her, I told Tyler, staring at the half-empty glass in front of me. Yeah. You said she walked into that bookstore like she owned the place, he muttered. Red scarf, iced coffee, fake smile. It wasn't fake to me, I said quietly. You were blinded, man. I was in love, he scoffed. Same thing. I smiled a little. She asked me if I had change for a 20. I didn't. But I pretended I did just to keep the conversation going. Tyler leaned back in his chair. And that's how it... I continued. She asked me to walk her home after our second date, told me she didn't like walking alone in the dark. And you fell for that? I want to protect her. You always wanted to save people. She knew that. She told me she loved me in the middle of a thunderstorm. He raised an eyebrow. Seriously? Yeah. We were soaked. I thought it was romantic. And now? Now I think she was testing how far I'd go. She ever say why she picked you? No, but I used to think it was fate. He gave me a look. You always think everything is fate. Not anymore. There was a silence between us before I finally said, things were good at first. Of course they were. I mean, we stayed up late talking. She'd fall asleep on my chest. We made pancakes at midnight. She liked to sing in the shower. Tyler looked unimpressed. What changed? She stopped laughing. What do you mean? I'd make the same jokes, but she'd just stare at me, like I was annoying her. Tyler frowned. That's when you should have run. I thought she was just tired. Work was stressing her out. He rolled his eyes. Always an excuse. She started staying out later. Said she needed space. Said I was too much. She ever say sorry? Only when she needed something. He shook his head. She was playing you. I didn't see it. You didn't want to see it. I looked down. She'd tell me I was lucky to have her. That's messed up. She said I was too emotional, too clingy. Translation, you actually cared. She'd compare me to her exes. Said, I wasn't as successful, not as confident. And yet she stayed. Because I made her feel important. Tyler leaned forward. You think she loved you? I think she loved being loved. That's deep. I nodded slowly. She'd post pictures of us with captions like, "My everything," but at home she barely touched me. She was performing. She stopped talking about her day, locked her phone, took calls outside. "Dude," I asked her once if she was seeing someone else. She laughed and said I was paranoid. "You told me that, and I told you, I remember what you said. I didn't want to believe you." Tyler exhaled. "I wasn't trying to ruin anything." "I know. You just looked lost." "I was. I told myself if I just loved her harder, she'd come back." People like her don't come back. They find someone new to drain. She made me feel like I was always wrong. Gaslighting. I apologized more than I spoke. She turned you into a ghost, man. I rubbed my eyes. It's like I disappeared one piece at a time, but I kept smiling in front of everyone. Because if you admitted the truth, it would mean she didn't love you. I looked at him. "Exactly. She ever hit you?" "No." But words cut deeper. He nodded. "I remember the day you stopped talking about her. That was the day I caught her with Ryan." Tyler clenched his jaw. "She didn't even look sorry. She said I bored her." Unreal. I should have left long before that. You were in love. That's not a crime. It is when it blinds you to the truth. He pointed at me. But you see it now. That's what matters. I took a deep breath. I just wish I hadn't let it go so far. She broke you. Yeah. But maybe I needed to be broken. He looked at me carefully. To see who she really was? To see who I really was. We sat in silence for a while, the kind that says more than words ever could. "You're not going to believe what I just heard," Tyler said, bursting through the door, his phone still in his hand. I barely looked up. "Another Bali trip?" He grinned. "No, Ryan dumped her." I blinked. "What?" "Yeah, kicked her. Out. Like, publicly. Some party, big scene." I sat back. "Why?" "Rumor is she stole money from one of his side businesses." I raised an eyebrow. "She always did love expensive taste." Tyler laughed. "Dude, this is it. She's spiraling." I didn't smile. "You're not even a little satisfied?" "I'm processing. You were more excited about that USB drive." "That drive had proof." This is just noise. For now." He sat down across from me. "You're playing the long game, huh?" "I have to. If I jump now, I look bitter, petty, desperate. But she's crashing, and I'm watching." Later that night, I sat in front of my laptop, scrolling through her social feed. No more beach photos, no more champagne, just a black screen with the words, "Some lessons come too late." Tyler peeked over my shoulder. "She's fishing for sympathy. She won't get it from me." "You really haven't talked to her since?" "Nope. Not even once?" I shook my head. "Not a word." He nodded slowly. "You're stronger than me." "I'm not. I just remember what she did." 2 days later, Jenna called. "Got a minute?" she asked. "Always." I checked the system again. Guess what I found? "Tell me." An internal audit was triggered. Emily's name came up. Multiple flagged transactions. From when? Last year, around the time she was dating Ryan. Figures. She's not officially fired, but they're definitely onto her. Did she cover her tracks? Sloppily. Looks like she got lazy. I leaned back. "Good." "She's scared," Jenna said quietly. "I heard her crying in the break room." "Did she see you?" "No." I walked out before she did. Paused. "Do you feel bad for her?" She hesitated. "I feel bad for who I thought she was." Fair enough. That night, my phone buzzed. Emily. "Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from." I stared at the screen. "Emily, I've been thinking about us. About how things ended. I made mistakes, a lot of them. I said nothing. Emily, I miss how simple it was. When it was just you and me, still nothing. Emily, anyway, hope you're okay. I locked the screen and set the phone down. Tyler noticed. Her? Yeah. What did she say? She misses what we had. He snorted. Now that it's gone. I looked at the ceiling. She wants me to open the door. You thinking about it? No. I'm thinking about locking it forever. Days passed. I kept collecting email logs, timestamps, expense reports, voicemails. Every lie had a breadcrumb. Every breadcrumb led to truth. You're building a case, Tyler said one night, watching me paste files onto a giant timeline on the wall. Feels like therapy. Feels like war. I nodded. Same thing, really. He picked up a printed message. She said you were obsessive. And now? She was projecting. A week later, Jenna messaged me again. Jenna, they're suspending her. HR's bringing in legal, I called her. How bad is it? Bad. She forged documents. My heart thudded. You sure? They found duplicates. Same approvals, different dates. She's done. Almost. But if you really want to bury her, now's your moment. I didn't reply right away. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I just never thought it'd come to this. Revenge? No. Truth. That night, Tyler handed me a flash drive. What's this? I asked. All your files, compiled, organized, ready. I stared at it. You hit rock, bottom, he said. Now you rise. I'm not ready. You are. I looked down at the drive. You think this makes me a bad person? No, he said. I think it makes you the one person who didn't lie. I exhaled. What if people still don't believe me? They will. I wasn't sure, but I was close. Closer than I'd ever been. And Karma? She was whispering louder now. She's dead. I blinked. What? Tyler lowered his phone. Emily, car crash. Last night. I didn't move. You're joking. No. It's everywhere. News said she was speeding. Lost control. I stared at the floor. Ryan? Wasn't with her. I nodded slowly. You okay? I don't know. She was driving alone. She was always running from something. He sat beside me. It's over. I shook my head. No, it's not. The funeral was small, closed casket. People cried like she was a saint. I stood in the back, silent. No one looked at me, except Mrs. Carter. Her eyes were cold, like I killed her daughter myself. Didn't say a word. I didn't cry. A few days later, Tyler tossed a small box on the table. What's this? I asked. Delivery came for you. No return name, just your initials. I opened it. Inside, a flash drive, a folded note. She recorded everything. You deserve the truth. J. Jenna. I plugged in the drive with shaking hands. Her voice hit me. First, I never loved him. I froze. He was easy, sweet, dumb in love. I could use that. I couldn't breathe. Ryan wanted someone who wouldn't talk. I gave him that. I gave him everything. And I gave him someone to blame when it all went south. My throat tightened. He thinks I stole from him. I didn't. I moved it. For us. For us? If this all crashes, I'll just spin it. Say he was obsessive. Everyone already believes it. No one asks questions when a guy cries too much. My hands curled into fists. If karma's real, she better move slow. I've got things to finish. She never did. I sat there hours later, eyes dry, heart heavy. Tyler came in quietly. You listened to it? I nodded. And? She did it all. Every lie, every rumor, she planned it. He sat beside me. I'm sorry. I don't feel anything. That's okay. I thought I'd feel relief. Or victory. But he waited. I just feel hollow. You never got to face her. I never got to ask why. You already know why. Easy. Night I prayed because I needed a big wasn't everything she took, my job, my name, my peace. It wasn't some mistake. It was real, and now she was gone. No justice, no apology, just a crash and a coffin. I didn't cry because she died. I cried because everyone thought she was someone she wasn't, and no one ever saw the monster behind the smile, except me. Liam, I don't think you were close to her. She'd want you to say something. Close. What a word. Close like a secret under skin. Close like a knife in your back. He pressed the microphone into my hand before I could argue again. I looked at the black ribbon wrapped around his fingers, shaking. She was your best friend. I nodded because I didn't have it in me to correct him. Not here. Not in front of the crowd, all dressed in borrowed grief. I walked up. 1 step. 2. The podium was cold, or maybe I was. They stared, waiting for words to soothe, to explain, to praise. Instead, I don't have a speech prepared. Some polite laughter. Tension already. I could stand here and say she was perfect, that she lit up every room, that we lost someone pure. I paused. Let the silence make them itch. But you've already heard all that. A cough. A whisper. Jenna shifted. In the back, her hands white around a crumpled tissue. I want to talk about masks. That caught them. We all wear them, right? Some to hide pain, others to hide who they really are. A woman in the front row tilted her head, confused. Maybe uncomfortable. Emily wore hers well. You saw the smile, the charm, the way she remembered. Birthdays and brought muffins to meetings. Someone behind me chuckled. I knew that laugh. Mr. Rowan, he always got muffins, but masks aren't just smiles. Sometimes they're shields, weapons. Liam's brow creased. He leaned forward like he wanted me to stop. I didn't. I'm not here to drag her. That's not what this is. A murmur swept through the back rows. I just think if we're going to mourn someone, we should mourn them honestly, not just who they were in public. I looked out, at the ones who knew, or guessed, or felt it but never said. She hurt people, quietly, when no one was looking, when no one would believe it. I felt my voice shake and forced it still. And some of us carried that alone. Jenna's shoulders trembled. She didn't look up. She wrote me a letter once, not long ago. Maybe she knew. I reached into my pocket. Paper, worn at the edges. She said she was sorry, that she didn't know why she did what she did. That maybe the mask became her face. Liam stood slightly, but stopped when I looked at him. I'm not going to read it. That's between me and her. I walked down the steps, each footfall louder in the hush. But I'm going to let her go. Today. Now. I approached the casket. Glossy white. Flowers like a lie. I forgive you, I whispered. Only she heard. I folded the letter once more and placed it gently inside. Let karma bury itself. Then I turned. Eyes followed me, stunned. Some angry, some wet. She wasn't perfect. But she was real. And that's all I ever wanted her to. Before I left the mic behind, Tyler showed up on my doorstep one morning, coffee in hand. Morning, he said, grinning like nothing had happened. Morning, I muttered, rubbing my eyes. You ready for your first day at the new job? Small, quiet, just how I like it. He laughed. That's you, no drama. Jenna texted later. Lunch today? I replied. Sure, need the company. We sat in the little cafe, surrounded by chatter and clinking cups. So, Jenna said, stirring her coffee, how's life after the funeral? Quiet. Finally. People still talking about Emily? I shrugged. Less and less. Social media's dead on that front. Tyler joined in. I stopped checking months ago. Toxic. Yeah, I don't even care what they say anymore. We shared a look. Relief and exhaustion all mixed together. One day at work, someone mentioned Ryan. Did you hear? A coworker said. He's in another scandal. I kept my face neutral. Another one? Jenna asked when I told her later. Apparently, didn't have to do a thing. Justice, it seemed, had its own rhythm. Not mine. Sometimes I'd find myself walking to Emily's grave, not to cry or rage, just to stand there. Remember what I survived. One afternoon, Jenna caught me there. You still come here? She asked quietly. Yeah. For what? To remember who I was when this all began. Not who I am now. She nodded, understanding. Not all closure comes with revenge, I told her once. Sometimes silence wins. Tyler raised his coffee cup. To peace. To peace, I repeated, meaning it. I never sent this to her, never could. But now I need to say it to myself if no one else. Emily, I begin aloud, the words trembling from my lips as I write. You broke me. More than I ever thought someone could. I pause, swallowing hard. You were the storm in my calm, the shadow in my light. I thought I knew you. I thought I was enough. The pen scratches across the paper, raw and jagged. But you weren't, and I wasn't. Not for each other. I speak the words as I write them, as if she's here, listening. I hated you. I hated what you made me feel. The loneliness, the betrayal, the doubt that clawed at my mind. A tear slips down my cheek, but I keep going. I lost myself trying to understand why. Why you chose to hurt the people who loved you. Why you wore that mask so well. I stop for a breath. The letter feels heavy, but I don't want to stop. But here's the truth you'll never hear. You don't own the ending. I look up from the page, imagining her face. Defiant, unrepentant. I do. A shaky laugh escapes me. I survived because I chose to. Because I refused to let your darkness swallow me whole. The pen flows faster now, fueled by something fierce and quiet. I'm not angry anymore. Not really. I'm just free. I write about healing, about reclaiming the pieces she shattered. I'm building something new from the ruins, something better. I fold the letter slowly, then light a match. Watching the flame catch, I whisper, "This is for me." The paper curls, blackens, then crumbles. Ashes drift in the breeze like the ghosts of what was. I let them go. A quiet victory. The last line she never heard is mine to keep.